Hey everybody, it's Mike, and welcome to Chip Damage. And what do you think we'll be talking about today? Yeah, of course, we're going to talk about the news that just rocked the entire gaming world. We will be talking about the announcement of the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character, as well as the end of Smash Bros. Ultimate as a whole, and maybe the end of Smash Bros. As a series, at least for a good period of time. And of course, as we dive into my thoughts about this, I like this to be a discussion channel. Please comment below. I've loved in my prior videos hearing comments, stories, personal anecdotes about gaming histories, your thoughts, your input. It really means a lot, and I'll try to respond to them as quickly as possible. It's one of the main reasons I continue to do this channel, is just engaging with other gamers from other backgrounds and histories than my own and seeing different perspectives. So without further ado, please join me as I talk about my hype for this last character and my hype for Smash Bros. Ultimate as it comes to a rousing conclusion. So yeah, well, if you didn't know, now you know. The final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character will be Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, unbelievable. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this direct announcement this morning was, how did they do this? They did it. They went all the way, and that this will probably never happen again. So there have been many characters that have been shocks in Super Smash Bros. History. Over the last 8 years since Super Smash Bros. 4 was being released and announcing characters, there have been a number of shocking DLC announcements. Cloud from Super Smash Bros., the return of Banjo-Kazooie to Nintendo consoles after being acquired by Microsoft. So many fantastic announcements that have just put me through the roof personally. Like Terry from SNK, King of Fighters, and Fatal Fury. Maybe not everyone's favorite pick, but I couldn't believe it. There have been so many moments that I have popped off, but there were certain characters that always felt kind of off limits, if you will. Now, Sora was definitely one of those characters, and the reason for that is, though most closely associated with Square Enix, who has a number of characters in the game already, Cloud, Sephiroth, and the hero from Dragon Quest, Sora is co-owned by Disney, and the thought of a video game company, even one as huge and prestigious as Nintendo, going to a mega conglomerate corporate company like Disney and saying, hey, will you allow us to use one of your characters in our game, just seemed out of reach, because with Sora comes so many other considerations. Like, will Donald, Goofy, Mickey be in there? Like, will they actually appear in a game? Will they allow other characters to attack their precious Disney characters? Like, can you see Donkey Kong just wailing on Donald if he gets summoned into the game? Like, it just seemed kind of out of reach. And I did a prior video where I talked about my thoughts on where Smash characters have gone and my hopes for the future after the previous character was announced in this DLC lineup, Kazuya from Tekken. And I believe I said something along the lines that, of course, I wanted my own picks in there. I had some of my own personal picks, like Master Chief from Halo, being an Xbox franchise. It really wasn't out of reach, considering that both Minecraft Steve and Banjo-Kazooie are Microsoft characters. And, Master Chief is an icon, and it would have been a shocking kind of image to see Mario fighting Master Chief as the last image announced for Ultimate. I wanted Ryu Hayabusa, who was the ninja from Ninja Gaiden, who's both a Nintendo character and an Xbox character, and just had a multiple console release with the Ninja Gaiden collection. There were so many hopes and dreams, but now that's all kind of come to an end. We know it. It's a solid thing. And honestly, even though it wasn't my first pick, I couldn't be happier. I think the monumental work that went in behind Sora, like getting him in this game, is well known. The fact that Sakurai had to do Disney deals through Square Enix and who knows who else. Like, it's so evident. They even mention it in the announcement video. Like, there was a lot of behind the scenes work in getting this character. And man, did they do him justice. Onto the character himself. Sora looks fantastic. The fact that they don't just have his original Kingdom 1 costume, they have his costumes from all the main games in the series. 1, 2, 3D, Dream Drop Distance, and 3. And they all look spectacular. Me, myself, Kingdom Hearts 2 costume all day. Love it. And his extra costumes, the ones past that, are phenomenal. And they show some more Kingdom Hearts 2 love. There's the Valor and Wisdom form, the blue and red form from Kingdom Hearts 2. There's the white final ultimate form from Kingdom Hearts 3. And then there is the immaculate Timeless River black and white costume from Kingdom Hearts 2, where they go back to like a 20s cartoon. They go back to Steamboat Willie. That's one of his costumes. You could have black and white goofy noodly armed Sora as a character. And it's I see what they did with it. All the Disney elements of Sora have been kind of moved to the side, and that's fine. There's no Donald, there's no Mickey, there's no Goofy. I mean, you see the Mickey insignia at the end of the Keyblade, but that's really it. And that kind of is the best possible scenario. You do like I feel like if you threw Disney characters in there, you would now have characters that would not originate in a video game. Like every character in Smash Brothers, playable and assist trophy, and even spirits, they originate in video games. As far as to my knowledge, like please correct me if I'm wrong, but every character is a video game centric character. So to even have Donald and Goofy kind of appear as like assist or something, we kind of mess with that. Like those are cartoon characters, those are Western cartoon characters. It would feel kind of weird. So I'm almost happy in a way that they stuck with mostly the Kingdom Hearts original content. The stage itself, Hollow Bastion, the original Kingdom Hearts stage, that morphs into Dive into the Heart with those famous glass church window panels that are so synonymous with the Kingdom Hearts series, just morphing in the background. It's like all of them too, which is just phenomenal. The number of song tracks, okay, I'm not thrilled with that, 9. But hey, Square Enix has been kind of famously stingy with their music, only giving 8 or 9 songs to characters like Cloud, Sephiroth, and the Dragon Quest hero. And the fact that the best song, the dearly beloved jazz remix, or at least a song that I love dearly, is exclusive is only if you have a save file from Kingdom Hearts Memory of Melody, or Melody of Memory, I always mix that up, on your Switch. Now, I have that game. I like this game, but I did not get the Switch version. I got it on PS4, as you can clearly see. But I want that song, so yes, I'm going to buy or borrow or rent a copy of Kingdom Hearts Memory of Melody on the Switch, just so I can get that last song. That must have been like some Square Enix deal. They must have said, hey, like, give us a little boost with our most recent Kingdom Hearts game. All right, we'll help you out. And with that, they also announced the Kingdom Hearts series coming to Switch via cloud. I don't understand how Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Chain of Memories, 3D, and all the prior games need to be on the cloud. I can understand Kingdom Hearts 3. That's a pretty graphically intense game, so I hope that's the only one on the cloud. I hope that just was some kind of thing I'm not, like, they weren't clear on. But it's cool. If you haven't played Kingdom Hearts and you have a Switch, it's time, baby, because that series is fantastic. But yeah, getting back to the actual character, the actual announcement, stellar. The way they announced it, the way that you saw the Final Fantasy emblem, the window, the 4 symbol, this final Smash Ball kind of fade, and Mario grabbed the last bit of fire that opened up the keyhole for Sora to fly, and he just kind of presents himself flying through the keyhole to everybody in like this joyous manner. Wonderful. Taking us back to the very first announcement trailer of this game back in March 2018, 3 years ago. Just the idea that Sora is such a kind of, goofy and sincere character is wonderful for Smash Brothers ending. Like, it goes out on literally a happy note. And in a way, the characters that I would want, like Chief or Ryu Hayabusa or whoever, they wouldn't have maybe had that same effect. That, like, Sora's just chill. There's just like a wave of joy that goes over everybody when Sora enters that room. And I don't think that would have been possible with any other character. Let's one more time talk about the significance of that inclusion. There have been other video game companies that you would never think would contribute a character to Smash Brothers. I mean, the first 2 third-party characters back in Smash Brawl, all the way back when, were Snake and Sonic. Snake, maybe because Snake originated on the NES, but at that time, Metal Gear Solid was solely a PlayStation series. I mean, in 2008, Metal Gear Solid 4 was coming out when Brawl was coming out, and the Metal Gear Solid 4 was only on PS3. So that was a great get, and people loved, and still do love, Metal Gear Solid. But Sonic, yeah, that was amazing. Given that, many years prior, Sega had folded their hardware division, and that Sonic was, on Nintendo consoles with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and what have you, Sonic Advance. The idea of Sonic and Mario just being able to punch and kick each other in a fighting game was unreal. Leading up to other fantastic gets, like, later on you would get Cloud, which was unbelievable because Cloud was never really a Nintendo character. Famously, Final Fantasy VII was the game in the series that broke away from Nintendo and was exclusive on PlayStation for so many years. Hell, the remake is still exclusive on PlayStation to this day, though that may change in the future, but regardless, Bayonetta being a very M-rated character. My favorite, probably my most type announcement may have been Bayonetta, but yeah, very M-rated character using guns, and she's very revealing and sexual, and it wasn't a huge financial success given that Bayonetta 2 was a Wii U exclusive at the time. The fact that she was in there was a huge shock. And then moving on to Ultimate itself, Konami, who's famously not played well with game developers and not really made a new good game in many years, allowed them to use the Castlevania characters of Simon and Richard Belmont along with like an awesome stage. Persona, which is not on any Nintendo console. Like there's some spin-offs on like portables and Persona 5 Strikers. Like that was an incredibly hype moment. The reacquirement of Banjo-Kazooie on a Nintendo console after being Xbox exclusive characters for so long. Unbelievable. Sephiroth appearing at the Game Awards, like, oh my god, the biggest JRPG villain and like in the top 3 biggest video game villains of all time appearing. Phenomenal. Minecraft Steve, look, yeah, that's big for some people. That's the only announcement that felt kind of corporate. Like a lot of these characters are like characters, mostly from like games that have a lot of heart and soul in them. In my eyes, Minecraft doesn't quite have that, but I know there's a lot of people out there that love Minecraft, and like it was a weird get that I couldn't predict. So yeah, that was a thing. But this Sora, like this is them going to specifically outside a game company to get a game exclusive character, and that is Disney. Like only Sakurai could do that. Moving away from Sora, I just want to talk about the actual implications of what Sakurai has done over these last couple years, why it's special, why we'll never probably get this again, at least for a while. Think about that. I think the hype behind Smash Brothers characters kind of stems from the fact that for the third-party characters in particular, Sakurai needs to almost, in my head, in many people's head, there are like handshake deals going behind the scenes. Like, given Smash Brothers is a Nintendo-only game. It is the only way you could play Ultimate is on the Switch, and that'll probably never change. That will never change. However, regardless of who you are as a gamer, there is probably at least 5 characters in this game from franchises that you love. Mario, Sonic, Donkey Kong, Bayonetta, Metal Gear, Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy, Castlevania. Like, it is insane how many classics he was able to get together for this game. And originally when Smash Brothers launched, and for the first 2 games, it was strictly a Nintendo joint. But that's just not the case anymore. What Smash Brothers is today, what Sakurai has built, is, as Maximilian Dood famously put, video game the video game. Like, it is a celebration of every genre of gaming, every area of gaming. Whether or not you get a character or not, you get a spirit, you get an assist trophy, you get a Mii costume. Like the Doom Slayer was announced today. Undertale characters, Shantae, Shovel Knight. Like there's so many amazing times, and you get this idea that Sakurai and his team literally go to the developers of these games, sometimes internationally, sometimes American characters, European, whatever, in a language that is not his own, and just make, of course it's a business deal, of course it's a corporate deal at the end of the day, but there's a certain sense that Sakurai says, like, I appreciate your game, is a wonderful game, is a part of history, will you please join Smash Brothers in this way, whether it be a character or a costume? And I think that's wonderful. Smash Brothers in itself is an arc. It is a collection of so many video game classic characters from all the years preceding it, bringing it together. Now, I'm a game collector. That's what this channel is mostly about. One of the things I love about game collecting is that you recognize and see the history of gaming as it evolves. Some are left behind, some go into the future, some stagnate, but like the idea that at one point a game is a developer's pride and joy, it's what they're working on. Like that's what really interests me, like the history that you get to see throughout the years. And that's one of my favorite parts of collecting, watching game evolution. I feel like Smash Brothers kind of condenses that into a wonderful way. Like it's not just fan service. It has characters and stages and the music, if I haven't mentioned. There's like 1,200 songs in this from throughout the years, all condensed into this one game and celebrating it in such a sincere way. And that's really the word that I associate with Sakurai. I think why he has so many admirers is the sincerity. Now, there are plenty of games that have, crossovers these days and a multitude of business deals, and like Fortnite, for example. Fortnite has like a character from every source of media possible, but it kind of feels soulless. It doesn't feel special. There's a certain sincerity to a man like Sakurai getting in front of the camera saying, hey, I love this game. This is my personal history with it, or this is why we chose it, and talking to you about it. Fortnite feels like a bunch of lawyers talked behind the scenes and like we'll make some money on this, Sakurai's like, no, I want you to join this team because your character deserves to be amongst this roster of legends, and I think the fans will really love it. I just don't feel like this greed behind it. And of course, you got to pay for these DLC characters, but like there's a certain feeling of Sakurai wanting to preserve everybody together. And like, it's not just the fan service, like, oh, look, you can play in Green Hill Zone. Like, no, like everything's kind of right in like those stages. Like you see Sonic's friends running behind, like Knuckles and Tails, and you see the life on top of the hoop, which is something that if you're a Sonic 1 fan is in your head, or Metal Gear Solid, the Shadow Moses level where you'll see Ray and Rex and the geckos in the background and hear the sound effects. Like, that's love and care. There's little minutia, little idiosyncrasies that only fans of the origin of those stages and characters will know that are put in there. And that's not the cash grab. Like, you look at Guile in Fortnite and it just looks terrible. Like, there wasn't love and care in that. But the fact that, like, Guile's assist trophy in Smash Brothers is him doing, like, the Sonic Boom or the Flash Kick with the voice. I think it's like Kirk Thornton. I forget who the voice actor of Guile is, but it's his voice actor from Street Fighter 4 and 5. Do the move. And all these, like, the little way that he does it is just perfect, and that's recognizable by fans of this series. Like the way Ryu and Ken and Terry have input moves, making the game slightly more harder for people who want to play those games if they want to attempt it, or play those characters if they want to attempt it, but so much more, rewarding if you're a fighting game fan and you go and play, like, I know how to do a Shoryuken, I can do double inputs, no problem. Pretzel motions for Terry, like, it feels right. And he puts that into the costumes, into the music, into the stages, everywhere. You feel that genuine, authentic sincerity in every one of these characters. And that is something I think is unique in gaming. There are plenty of other crossovers, like I said, in fighting games where they'll have one or two characters from other franchises like Tekken or Samurai Showdown. And those are wonderful. And I feel that sincerity there as well. But the sheer amount of content in Smash Brothers is insane. There are 86 selectable characters. They say 89 because they count the Pokemon as 3 characters and Pyre and Mythra as 2. And yes, they are individually modeled characters with limited movesets, but you can't, like, I say 86. I count the character select options, and I count the Mii fighters because those are different. But like, each one of those is special and unique, and there was time put into it. Which leads me to my next thought, that this is the end. Personal history, I was at the launch of the 3DS version of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS in New York City at the Nintendo World Store. I waited online to get that game. Yes, I waited online in the cold in October in New York City to get a 3DS game. But I wasn't alone. There was tons of people hyped for that game. And, before that, I was and to this day, I'm a pretty casual Smash Brothers fan. But I always appreciated the gathering of characters that Smash Brothers was. I had a best friend as a kid who had the N64 version. I had a friend who had Melee. One of my best friends was a huge Brawl fan. But I was never into it myself. I just wasn't into the Wii or GameCube at the time. I've later recognized how great consoles were, but those weren't the consoles I had. They were always friend systems. But I had a 3DS and I had a Wii U. So I was right there at the beginning of those games. And they were truly special. I got to meet plenty of great fans on that line. And, me and my buddies had a great time playing it. But I was one of the first people to have that game at a midnight launch in New York City for the 3DS version. And that's where the hype all kind of began. A few months later, the Wii U version would come out, and the first DLC character would be announced for Super Smash Bros. 4. That would be Mewtwo, who is my favorite Pokemon. So I was over the moon. And that kind of began the incredible journey that we're on now. Like, I believe that was 2014. That was where the DLC hype train for Smash characters really got announced. Now, of course, before Smash Brothers games in general, back in the day, like Brawl, everyone would be, clamoring to see who the next character would be. But the DLC cycle really began with Smash 4 and, continued on into Ultimate. And throughout that period of time, that nearly 8-year period of time, it has been just such a wonderful ride to see who they've picked and the ups and the downs. Like, regardless of whether your favorite character was picked when you wanted them to get in, you were paying attention. And I think that is something else that is unique in the gaming world. Nothing brought together most gamers, even if they weren't Nintendo gamers, like even if they didn't have a Wii or a Switch at the time, everyone always kind of had their eye on the gaming website when like a new Smash character was announced. Like you'd click just to see, like, oh man, they got Corrin from Smash Awakening or whatever. I mean, in Smash 4, like, oh, Ryu from Street Fighter's in there, amazing. That's such a good get. I'm a fighting game fan. Like everyone always came together, especially as the internet was getting better, post Brawl, to pay attention. Get ready for those announcements. Like Sakurai would announce when those announcements would come out. Get around their computer, their phone, and just be glued to that screen as he announced the new character, which is something that is almost entirely unique. I can't think of anything else at this moment that is as big. Now, yes, fighting game characters have this announcement cycle as they go on, Street Fighter, whatever, but there's usually, only recently has Street Fighter V really adopted this way of announcing things with their like kind of presentations that I've been doing for season 5 of Street Fighter V. But Smash Brothers had more eyes on it, just in terms of popularity, and they were kind of the originators. Like, oh man, that Sakurai Presents is going to be next week. We got to be on that. What time? Oh man, it's East. They're saying Pacific time. I live on the East Coast. What time do I have to wake up? Like doing the quick math. Like, all right, I got to watch. It's going to be a 40-minute presentation where this man tells you the character, why they picked them, why they're special, and then play as them. And it was always hype. Even with the Wii U, where no one had that console, people were paying attention. There was the character popularity poll where we actually got to kind of vote to see who we'd get in. That was how Bayonetta got in. I couldn't believe that. Thanks, Europe, by the way. She was the number 1 character in Europe and like number 5 in the US. US always letting me down. So thank you, Europe. And then today we learned that back then, Sora was actually the most requested character, but he wasn't possible back then. So I'm so glad with the success of the Switch, which is a very accessible console. Like everyone has a Switch. Like, yes, it is not the most graphically powerful system, nowhere near it, but it is an easy system to just get in your hands and play and have fun. And I feel like it's everybody's sidearm. Like everyone has like their PC, PS5, Series X, what have you, and a Switch on the side for those great exclusive and to play on the go. It's a unique experience. So it's so cool that you have this game on this accessible console. We've been supplied with so much joy throughout the years. What was it? Smash 4, the big one of the first big announcements was Mega Man, and that was hype. And then Smash Ultimate gets announced 2018. Let's move ahead. I've been rambling on about Smash 4. Let's move ahead to my personal history with Ultimate. Ultimate is announced in March 2018, right? And we knew a Smash Brothers had to be coming to the Switch. We didn't know what it would be precisely. We thought, like many of the games on the Wii U, it would simply be a port from the Wii U to the Switch because no one bought the Wii U version comparatively. Regardless, I was hyped. I'm like, okay, the first character I believe they announced was the Squid Kid from Splatoon. Fine, whatever. I'm not a Splatoon fan, but like, hey, it's a big new Nintendo IP. 2018 was the first year that I went to E3. 2 of my friends, and we signed up early to get to play the new Smash Brothers game, which was not named yet. Like you had to apply online to just play new Super Smash Brothers. And the 3 of us got it because we did it early. So I traveled very far across the United States to E3. And that was a great E3 to begin with. Many great things announced. Devil May Cry 5, Halo Infinite, what have you. But the first thing we did, we were going to play Smash Brothers Ultimate first thing in the morning on that first day of E3. Right before that, a few hours before that, we're about half mile from the convention in our hotel. There's a Nintendo Direct on Smash Brothers, where they're going to name the game and show off what it's about. We're all kind of apprehensive. Like, okay, it was great, but Smash 4 had some amazing guest characters, Bayonetta and Cloud, but it was missing Snake, which kind of stunk because Snake was such a popular character. So you're thinking these third-party characters are probably gone. They'll have some, but they're not going to have everybody. Like some of your favorites will be cut, and that's our thought process going into this. They announce Ultimate. They show off the roster of characters. Like, oh, Bayonetta's back, Cloud's back. And then the trailer pauses, and it's that infamous line, everyone is here, with Snake appearing. And I just lost my mind. Everybody from Smash Brothers was coming back. The DLC characters, whatever. That was incredible. Could not believe that was happening. Bringing everybody from 4 games together into one giant game. It was already giant back then. They didn't even announce any new characters besides Squid Kid. So we're over the moon. We run to that convention center. We get our place online. Me and 3 friends, one other person who was online with us, are some of the very first people in the world, especially in North America, to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think the first character I picked was Snake. I'm like, all right, I got to try this. My buddy was Ridley and Bowser. I think the other guy was Bayonetta. And it's just the idea that I was right there at the beginning. I got to play this game, and I was terrible at it. I couldn't tell what was going on. Smash Ultimate is a bit faster than Smash 4, and it's been a while since I played Smash 4, and I wasn't great. I got clobbered by my buddy, but it was so special that, like, hey, man, this is it. Like, it's called Smash Brothers Ultimate, and we're playing it, and that's what it is. It's bringing everybody together. It's one of my favorite game memories of all time. And as time went on, that was June. The game would be released in December. Some amazing characters would be announced. Simon Richter from Castlevania. I'm a huge Castlevania fan. That was unbelievable. So on and so forth, all the way up to Ken coming back with Blaziken. I love Street Fighter, so more Street Fighters the better. And then the DLC cycle started. Of course, with Piranha Plant, which everyone always forgets, is kind of like an immediate launch character, like very quickly after the launch of that game. But then there was this idea that, you know, this is going to come to an end eventually after that first season. Joker at the Game Awards, phenomenal pick. But at the end of season one, it was, like, all right, that's it. We're going to get 6 characters. That'll be the end. And it was Byleth. Terrible way to end the first season. No shade on Fire Emblem, but not the greatest way to finish that game, that season. But they then announced one more season. And they said right off the bat, this will be the final season. We got 6 characters over the course of the last year and a half, starting with the ARMS character, Min Min. No one's favorite, but hey, yet again, a new Nintendo IP. They got to throw the girl in there. Then, Steve from Minecraft, where I just fell off. I'm like, okay, everyone who I want in is great, and they're going in a different direction with this one. And then Sephiroth, which piqued me right back up. Then Pyra and Mithra. I've been a fan of Xenoblade, the series, but never played 2. Xenosaga, I should really say, but that made me want to play the game, and she looked awesome, or they looked awesome, as they should say, and, I think that was a great pick. And then Kazuya from Tekken, come on, I'm a fighting game guy. Fantastic pick that didn't seem like would fit, but was massaged into the game really well. And here we are at the end of this long cycle, 3.5 years for Smash Ultimate, 8 years for Smash DLC. We are at the end with Sora. What a phenomenal way to end a collaboration, then with another collaboration character that is almost or equally as massive, Kingdom Hearts main character Sora. And yeah, it's really sinking in. I'm recording this very quickly after the end of the announcement, so pardon me if I ramble, but that's it, man. That's the end. There was no, hey, we'll catch you later, we'll do this again, there's a 3rd season. No, it was just the waving goodbye, thank you for watching. And that's kind of it. So where does Smash Brothers go from here? Well, my thoughts are that we're not getting another one till the next console, of course. There's usually one Smash per console. But even then, this was named Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Where do you go from there? Most thoughts that I've seen online are you got to go smaller, start again, reinvent. And that's probably the direction they will go in. I wish they could just use, this is the one game where I could say I wish this was a platform that would go on literally forever, because it'll never be like this again. Given that, even, the work was done. The handshake deals were done with the third-party companies, and all that work was put into it. Those are exclusive deals. They cost money. It's never easy to reacquire deals, no matter how big of a game you are, no matter how much Smash Ultimate sells. It's still just a game at the end of the day that only makes a finite amount of money, and deals run out. So, of course, in the next Smash Brothers, most likely the roster will not be 86 strong. Will we see characters like Sora again, Cloud, Dragon Quest hero, Banjo-Kazooie? We don't know. That probably not, to be honest. But regardless of who they cut, they're going to cut someone's favorite. Even if the next one, if Pit is in there, there'll be someone playing and go, man, yeah, Pit's good. But I remember when they had Dark Pit. People will always harken back to that roster in Ultimate. If a stage of yours that was in this game gets cut, man, I really wish that Castlevania stage was back in. That was sick. Even the next game is great. If they change the mechanics, which it seems like they have to, what do you do from here? Smash Brothers, the next one, it can't possibly be of the scope, so they need to change the style, which of course will cast some fans off, and some fans will be happy. But this is the end of this era of Smash. They aren't going to release, this would be a dream, but they probably aren't going to release Super Ultimate or whatever, Ultra Ultimate one day, where it's just all 86 plus more on the next console. I just don't see that happening. Nintendo doesn't really work that way. They release sequels. It's amazing they got this much DLC to begin with. I can't think of another Nintendo game, or many games in general, that got 3.5 years of support. That's insane. Mario Kart 8 doesn't count. They just put that game out and just let it ride forever. But Nintendo kind of ends the game, and when the next console generation comes out, puts out a sequel. And that's probably what's going to happen. But honestly, I have this similar feeling with Mario Galaxy, where Mario Galaxy, my favorite Mario game, it was this huge cosmic story. I'm like, where do they go from there? And while Odyssey was amazing, it didn't quite capture the scale and whimsy in my heart that Galaxy did. So it was more of a lateral move. And I feel like that's the best thing, what's going to happen with Smash. They're going to cut the roster, make the mechanics different, have a different art style, who knows? But it won't be Ultimate. So this is a very special period in time. We were living a very special period in time with the DLC announcements. Throughout the years, we always had something to look forward to. Now we don't. What we have now instead, in its place, and maybe it's not as exciting, but it's still just as special, is a complete version of Smash Bros. Ultimate. The Arc, right here. with characters from every genre of gaming from all over the world brought together in one really fun game represented beautifully. And I don't know if I want to know what the next Smash Brothers is. I want them to just let this sit for a couple of years because nothing will ever replace this. Hell, in many cases, people won't even say this game replaced the prior ones like Melee because, whatever, wave dashing. But forget, this is like historically, this is an arc of video game characters that I don't think can ever be repeated or replaced. And that makes this game incredibly special. Everybody from Mario all the way to Sora, they all deserve to be in here one way or the other. And I don't think we'll ever have that again. I'm excited for the future of Smash Brothers, but right now I'm focusing on what we have. We have one of the greatest video games of all time. And that's kind of not up for debate in terms of like, hey, if you don't like the way Smash Brothers plays, you must respect Sakurai's dedication to this game and what he was able to get done with it. He went around and got video game deals with companies, feuding companies that would never normally be like anywhere near each other. Konami, Capcom, Namco, Disney, Sega, like he got them all to come together, and not in a mobile game, not in a like corporate feeling cash grab, in a video game that has depth and heart and soul. And who knows if we'll ever get that again. Thank you so much, Sakurai, for what you did. And you know what? That brings me to the end of this video. Thank you, Sakurai, for bringing together a roster of characters, an arc, a history of video gaming into one fantastic package that we'll probably never get again. Who knows what the future holds, but right now, let's enjoy Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And that brings me to the end. And yet again, I want to know, what are your thoughts on this? Were you happy for Sora? Were you not happy for Sora? Who do you wish they had in? Where do you wish the Smash Brothers series goes in the future? What do you wish they changed in the past? Like, what do you think was a missed opportunity? What do you think was a great get? I want to know what's your history with this series, and I'll try to respond to you as quickly as possible, because much like Sakurai, the way he brings game developers and gamers together, I would like to bring my viewers, my subscribers all together in like discussions. Like, honestly, I don't want anything toxic. I know that breaks out whenever you talk about things like this, but generally I have noticed that you, the audience, have been very positive, and it's been so much fun to hear stories like, oh, this is how like the scene in New Zealand is. This is how the scene in the Philippines is. Like, this is my history in it. We didn't get this console. We didn't get this game. I love hearing that. I love the discussion. So please, let's keep it going. And thank you so much for joining me as I rant and ramble about this game that I'm super excited to talk about. These two coming together, Sora's and Smash. How crazy is that? You can just have Sora beat up Cloud or Cloud beat up Sora all day now. That's something special. So yet again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me talk about this. Thank you for helping this channel grow. My name is Mike. This has been Chip Damage, and thank you again. Take care of yourself.